Emotional manipulation is one of the most difficult situations to deal with, especially when it comes from someone close to us. We feel confused and helpless because we have no idea what's happening to us. And if we don't know what's happening, we can't do anything about it. Hi, I am a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In this episode, we will talk about the ways to turn the tables on an emotional manipulator. Before we begin, please subscribe if you haven't already and show your support. Let's get started. 1. Stop engaging. Don't take anything personally. The first thing that you need to do is stop engaging. You may be thinking, how is that even possible? I know it sounds impossible because when they are doing it, they are so good at it. You may not be able to stop them in the very beginning, but you need to try. When they start manipulating you, remove yourself from the situation. If you can't physically remove yourself, then pretend like you don't hear anything. Don't take anything personally. Once you step out of the situation, then think rationally. Think about what has just happened. Try to analyze the situation objectively. What did that person say? Why did he or she say those things to you? What was the intention behind it? Why did it affect you? What kind of thoughts it evoked in you? Thinking about all these questions will help you understand the whole situation better. And once you do that, you will see how absurd it actually was. How pointless their attempts to manipulate you were. So the more you engage with them, the more it will feed their ego. They will feel that they are powerful enough to evoke emotions out of you. So by removing yourself, you are depriving them of the fuel they desperately need. But again, it's not easy. It's not something that you would learn overnight. But with some practice and self-awareness, you will get there. 2. Be aware of your triggers. Every single one of us has triggers. Something that may work on you may not necessarily work on someone else. Similarly, something that evokes a reaction out of you may be completely meaningless to someone else. So you need to know yourself better. You need to know what your triggers are. If you don't know what your triggers are and they keep playing with them, then you will keep reacting. And as I said earlier, the more you react, the more it feeds their ego. The more you resist, the more they feel the need to control you. So try to be aware of your triggers. Try to understand, why do certain things trigger you? Why do certain things upset you so much? What is that deep-rooted belief inside of you that keeps coming up every time that particular trigger is activated? Once you become aware of all of that, you will be able to understand how to protect yourself from these manipulations. For example, if you know that whenever you think of your childhood, you feel a lot of shame, then you know that that's your trigger. So if they start attacking your childhood, your upbringing, your parents, whatever it is, you know what's going on. You know how to protect yourself. 3. Practice self-soothing. The best way to deal with any situation of emotional manipulation is to practice self-soothing techniques. If you know how to calm yourself down, if you know how to soothe yourself, then you will not let the words of the manipulator affect you. It is important for you to have a toolbox of various self-soothing activities. Some of my go-to ones are listening to music, going for a walk, dancing in my room, journaling, and talking to a trusted friend. Find out what works for you. Find out what makes you feel better. Maybe it's taking a warm bath. Maybe it's closing your eyes and taking deep breaths. Whatever it is, have a list. Have a toolbox of various activities and use them. Use them as often as you need to. Whenever you feel manipulated, whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever you feel like you are losing yourself, just step back and do one of the activities from your list. And that will help you calm down. That will help you bring back your power. That will help you come back to your senses. Remember, emotional manipulators target your weak points. They attack your vulnerabilities. And the best way to protect yourself is to soothe yourself, to love yourself, to make yourself feel good. So please practice self-soothing. 4. Work on your boundaries. One of the best tactics an emotional manipulator can use is to blur your boundaries. They will cross your physical, emotional and mental boundaries without asking you, without caring about how you feel. They will just do it because they feel like they have the right over you. Well, they don't. And you need to make sure that you make them feel like they don't. You need to work on your boundaries. First, you need to know where your boundaries are. Not everybody can tell you where your boundaries are. You are the only one who knows where your boundaries are. Nobody else can do it for you. You need to find out what makes you uncomfortable, what makes you feel disrespected, what makes you feel unsafe. And once you do that, enforce your boundaries. Enforce them even if it feels scary, even if it feels like you are being too much, you are being too harsh. No, you are not. They have been manipulating you for so long that now you feel guilty for setting boundaries. You feel bad for saying no. But you need to understand that you are doing it for your own good. You are doing it for your healing. So please work on your boundaries and enforce them. No. 5. Go no contact. Last but definitely not the least. Going no contact is one of the most effective ways to deal with emotional manipulators, especially if you are dealing with a family member. Because a family member is someone you can't just cut off. You may not have a choice. But what you can always do is go low contact. Try to limit your interactions with them as much as possible. Try to avoid them as much as you can. Set your boundaries. Make it clear that this is how far you can go. This is how much you are willing to tolerate. And if they cross it, you will go no contact. And when I say no contact, I mean no contact. Don't look back. Don't check up on them. Don't care about what happens to them. Just move on with your life, because the longer you stay in contact, the more they will try to manipulate you. The more you let them in, the more they will mess with your boundaries. So please go no contact. And with that, we come to the end of today's episode. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Share this episode with others. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and show your support. I'll talk with you in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin and continue.